Hello, all. RT Bear here, 35-year comic book veteran, working for mainly Marvel DC, but I helped out a little upstart company in the early days called Image. Those were the salad days, as they say. Yes, so hi and welcome, and all your comments and stuff in the chat are always welcome. So always feel like you're part of the show. Chime in. It's all good. And actually, I like it. It helps feed the show. So I appreciate it. And as always, there's a delay, so I don't get to see the signs of life in the chat. If you guys don't know, I always ask for a sign of life when I start these things because I'm always so paranoid that I did something wrong. But it all looks good. I don't have anybody in the chat yet, but feel free to chime in. Like I said, there's always a delay. What I am going to do today is tell a tale of woe, my Marvel story that I've been basically teasing for the last year on this channel and other channels. I think I told an abbreviated version of this story on Mitch Bratweiser's YouTube, and I think I told an abbreviated version on this channel, actually. So I'm going to tell the epic tale in detail. So there's a lot of tales there. Epic tale in detail. I survived to tell the tale. And so let me look at the clock. So we're doing good. I'm going to try to wrap this up in about an hour, but this thing's going to be epic. So, wow, still nobody in the chat. It must be a bad time or something. But I'm going to tell this tale anyway, even if I have no one listening. This story has to be told. It has to be told. Hey, sign of life. We have Kevin. Woohoo! We have Kevin. So, hey, Kevin, how you doing, brother? We have Chris. Oh, my gosh. You guys are... Yeah, I think there's a crazy delay on this thing. Sometimes it seems longer than others. So, yes, I will be telling the story to not just this camera and this mic, but to at least Kevin and Chris so far. So we have Kevin and Chris to hear the tale of woe. This is not a sympathetic story. This is not a story for you to feel bad for me or anything. This is the story of triumph. This is the story of overcoming adversity. This is a story about taking on a giant corporation called Marvel Comics. Yeah, it's kind of about those things, but I'm trying to make it seem bigger. Actually, it was a pretty big deal in my life. So this happened in the early 2000s. So let me see. We still have just got home from work. Well, welcome back, man. Welcome back, Kevin. And Kevin, I'm gonna be working on your commission sometime, hopefully this week. This week's gonna be the Chrono Blitz because Crona Mechanics is 6 days away from ending our live crowdfund. So I'm going to try to get some drawing in on your Judge Anderson commission, but Chrono takes priority at this point. So sorry about that. But the pencils are pretty much already done. I need to start throwing down some ink, and that's what I will do soon. What up, T-Bear? And there's an image of a guy with the middle finger. That's actually how I feel right now. I feel like giving the middle finger to Marvel Comics. So I don't know where to begin. I always feel like I have to go from the very beginning to the end to tell the story. Nice, been waiting for this video. Yes, Snark. Or what is that? Sark? Sark. Sorry, I got a little snarky with Sark. So, yes. So let me lean back. I might have to bleep the camera or go to the icon because I might get upset. So I don't want you guys to see me all angry. My usual calm demeanor. Oh, we got Ray Thulu. Burn him to the ground. Yeah, wait till you hear the story, you guys. Wait till you hear the story. And if you could tweet this out, thumb it up. This is going to be an epic tale, and I believe I'm only going to tell this story once. I have waited since 2002. Hold on. This is the last year. This is the last year I worked at Marvel Comics. So I got this Wizard Award the same year I got fired from Marvel Comics. So this says 2002. So 2002, my daughter was 5 years old. So pretty much we had a newborn. Well, not a newborn, but we had a young baby to take care of. And so that's kind of my personal backstory. Well, I'm going to go back further. Okay, from the beginning. Okay, it's 2002, and I'm working on the Ultimates books. So I'm working on Ultimate X-Men with David Finch, and I'm working on Ultimate X-Men with Mark Bagley. And I believe the writers were Mark, what the hell is his name? Miller, and Brian Michael Bendis. So you would think life couldn't get any better. And you know what? It couldn't get any better. It was really good. Those were the closest to salad days I've had since Image Comics, since publishing Black and White in '94. So the money was good. The sales were good. There was industry buzz on all the Ultimate books. And there were only two at the time. There were only those two. I think there was some kind of Marvel team up book, and I worked on that every once in a while because I think they had different teams on it. So it's 2002. And to back up a little further, from my Image days to my Marvel restart. So just to back up even further, I worked at Marvel with Jim Lee, Whilce Portacio on the X-Men books. And then I penciled and inked some issues of X-Men after Jim left. And I penciled and inked the Cable ongoing series with writer Fabian Nicieza. Okay, so then I left there, went to Image Comics, right? Young upstart company, big hoopla, crazy, right? So Marvel wasn't happy with any of us. So Image started declining. What did they call them? The trading card investors or whatever. They left, or they were leaving, and the market was kind of falling out. So the salad days were going away. So I had Black and White going at the time, but the numbers were shifting so quickly that by the time I got the ongoing ready and coming out, the sales it was more than half. It was way more than half the sales the year previous, and they were still dropping. So I could not say, "Hey, we got Clint." Hey, Clint, if you guys haven't checked out Clint's YouTube channel, it's awesome, man. Clint has integrity out the yin yang, and we had a hoot last night on his show, and I teased this segment a little bit. So welcome to the chat, Clint. Much appreciated. So we have a lot of new faces too. So I'm going to say hi real quick, as I always do. Hey, Zaid, what's up? And yeah, so Marvel, I had to come back to Marvel after Image. So the bottom's dropping out. I have a probably 3-year-old at that point, little girl, and just want to make everything work, right? Financially, everything, got mortgage, everything that most people have. And so I went back to Marvel with hat in hand, very humble, and they made me jump through every hoop known to man. So I worked on every crappy book, every title for about a year. And also Marvel was filing bankruptcy around that time. So I had to sign a contract to work at Marvel that if Marvel chose to not pay their freelancers, they didn't have to. So I was working under that contract all of this time. So needless to say, Adam Kubert, or it was Andy Kubert actually, wanted me to work with him. So I came back on to X-Men, which was the book I left to go to Image from. And so I started building back up. So Bob Harris was, he kind of wanted me to pay some dues to get back. And I don't blame him. We kind of left him high and dry. And so, I did that. I paid my dues. And then I started building back up my resume and the trust with the company, right? So Uh, things are going good, but I'm working under that contract. So I'm a little nervous that they're not going to pay me my back end money. Marvel doesn't call them royalties, they call them incentives, which legally means that they don't have to pay you. So it's not really like a royalty situation. Marvel's pretty weaselly, you guys. They are really, really weaselly. And I don't mind saying that right now because they really screwed me over. They really screwed me and they hurt me really bad. Okay, so anyway, working on those books, building back up my resume, working with Carlos Pacheco, on the X books, just kind of building back up. So then Bob Harris, just before he left Marvel, he had these Ultimate books that he wanted to get going, and they were going to hire pretty much indie writers. So Mark Miller and Brian Michael Bendis, who didn't have a proven mainstream track record, to come in, write these mainstream characters, and have mainstay Marvel guys work on them. So the first team to work on the Ultimates was myself and Adam Kubert on Ultimate X-Men, and myself and Mark Bagley. And I don't care, I'm going to say this. When Bob Harris brought me on, he said, I want you to ink Mark Bagley, and he said, I want you to bury him. I don't want to see Mark Bagley in the pencils. I want to see you. So that was a little nervous, but it wasn't the first time I've heard that from an editor. A lot of times I get hired because I can pencil and draw to come in on, not that Mark is a weak penciler, because he's not, but aesthetically, he's a little weak. So that's what I brought in. I brought in a new aesthetic for Mark and tried to kind of make him a little bit cooler, actually. So anyway, so when Mark and I came on the Ultimates, we both didn't think it was going to last very long. We thought 6 issues tops, because John Byrne had just launched Spider-Man Year One. So Spider-Man Year One was a failure. So we didn't think this Ultimate Spider-Man retelling of the origin and all that was good. We didn't feel there was enough time between those two, and there was a lot of bad vibes going on with these, reboots or these origin Spider-Man stories. So anyways, we did it. It's a gig, and it became a huge hit. It was huge, you guys. These Ultimate books were massive. So I'm going to smash cut to 3 years later. So it's like 2002 now, and my daughter's 5. Everything's good. Bills are being paid for. We're socking some money away. Things are looking really good financially. Career-wise, I was back on top. You couldn't get any bigger than where I was. And then even when Kubert left Ultimates, they kept me on to ink Dave Finch when Dave Finch came on. So I was in there, as the inker on these Ultimate books. And I worked on every one of these books. I did not miss a single issue of the Ultimate Spider-Man run. Not one issue. I lost 2 parents in that time. There was other things going on, and I never missed one deadline, you guys. So this has to be made clear. I was the perfect employee. Even when they started shipping, they were double shipping Spider-Man. So they were going from 12 issues a year to 16. So that meant that we had to do an extra half issue every month, Mark and I. So I'm responsible for 2.5 books every month. And the Ultimate Spider-Man deadline kept getting worse. So, excuse me, pretty much Mark and I were doing 2 books of Ultimate Spider-Man a month. 2 books. I'm doing 3 books a month, and I am not failing. I am making all my deadlines, and this stuff I thought looked inspired. I thought it looked great. And everybody else did too. I got nominated for a bunch of awards, and I won a bunch of awards 3 years in a row when I was working on the Ultimate books. So good times. I just want to make sure you guys know how amazing this time was. This time was amazing. It other than the Image Comics, and before that, well, I've had a couple amazing runs. I've had the Superman stuff. all the X-Men stuff, and then, Image Comics, and now the Ultimates. So very, very good times. And so the schedule on the Ultimate Spider-Man started getting more intense as it went. And so at one point, this guy named David Bogart, keep that in mind, that name is going to be very important in this story. Okay, so David Bogart said I was falling behind. So I was falling behind, not really. I had just gotten, because Bagley's so fast, I'd get chunks of pages, like 10 pages at a time. It's like half the book. So he tells Ralph Macchio, who's my editor, you need to pull these 10 pages from Art because he's fallen behind on the schedule. Keep in mind, we're 3 months ahead of schedule. 3 months ahead of schedule. By today's standards, this is unheard of. This is unheard of to have 3 issues in the can. We had more than that because we were double shipping. So, and my X-Men deadline, no problem, same thing. So perfect employee, right? Doing great work and hitting the deadlines. So I've been doing this long enough, you guys. I know the flakes. I know when things are bad. And I was the poster boy for how to make your deadlines and do great work. That's not just me. Hey, Carl, that's not just me patting myself on the back. We have Carl. We have a celebrity. We have Carl Alstetter in the house. Love that Superman run. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because this epic tale has just started. So this is all my setup for what eventually did happen. So I'm doing these books. Everything's great. But keep in mind, I'm still working under this contract. They never reworked the contract. Marvel didn't have to pay me. They didn't even have to pay me my page rate if they chose, because under the bankruptcy laws or whatever. And I signed it. I signed it because I wanted to work and everything was good. And to Marvel's credit, nothing ever happened. So they paid me every dime. There was no problem there. So then, we're working. My deadlines are started getting more intense for no reason at all. And so then Ralph says, we want to pull these pages from you. And all of us, Mark, Bendis, and myself, all had a pact that we were going to beat Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's run on Fantastic Four. We were going to beat it. We were not only going to meet it as far as not missing a single issue, but we were going to surpass it, right? We all had made an oath to each other, and we were sticking to it. Like I said, I didn't miss one single issue, and neither did those guys up to that point. Well, they never did at all. None of us did. My whole run, I never did either. So then I tell Ralph, why? I said, I just got these 10 pages. Why are you pulling them from me? Well, David Bogart says you're falling behind. And I said, I'm not falling behind. So the word got out to Michael Bendis. So to Michael's credit, he went to either Ralph or David Bogart and said, no, you're not going to do this. We're going to see this thing through. We're gunning for this Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, run. And so to those guys' credit, they did it. I would have been involved. I was on board for the whole thing, but David Bogart was not happy with this. I even sent Mark, David. I sent David artwork through Ralph because Ralph was kind of giving me some, like, for some reason this guy's gunning for you, like, he's kind of got some problems with you. So I sent some Ultimate Spider-Man artwork, and now if you think about it, that stuff's worth a lot of money. So I sent it to Ralph to give to David. It's kind of like, hey, I'm a good guy, call me, we'll talk it out. If you have a problem with me, we'll talk it out. Nothing, not a thank you for the artwork, nothing, right? So smash cut. Okay, this is New York Comic Con 2002, whenever it was. Okay, so the New York Comic Con was very, very cool. They put all the Ultimate guys all sitting right next to each other in the artist alley. So on the end was David Bogart, was David Finch, me, Mark Bagley, and Bendis. So we're all sitting side by side by side by side by side. And so I missed the beginning. Dude, I'm not going to tell this epic tale. You're going to have to come back, Cam, because this is going to be an emotional ride for me, boy. And it already is. This is crazy. I cannot believe what Marvel did to me. I cannot believe to this day what Marvel did to me. But before the New York Comic Con, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm trying to relive. This is years ago. Before the New York Comic Con, David Bogart asked me, he said, I want to try this experiment. I want to start doing blue lines. And I want you to work the kinks out. So you'll be like the prototype for things to come. And so we had a long, long conversation about the ins and outs of it. So I told him all my concerns. He didn't seem to care about my concerns at all. My main concern is artwork. What is this going to do to original artwork? Because if I make this thing work for David Bogart and Marvel, every inker, every penciler, every art collector, this is going to change the game. And I knew it at the time. I had enough foresight. I knew it was going to change everything. And so I told him that. I said, what about artwork, original artwork? This is going to change everything, the collector market, all this stuff. He said, we'll cross that bridge. He goes, I'm not even sure it's going to work. And I said, well, you're going to save money in Federal Express charges. And I said, then I think I should be compensated. I'm a businessman. He's a businessman. I think I should be compensated for what you're asking me to do. Just to back up, what he's asking me to do is he's asking me to get a file from a penciler, download it to my computer, use my computer to convert it to blue lines, and then get a printer that will print out 11 by 17 blue line artwork on Marvel paper. And then the idea was I ink it on blue lines and then I scan it and send it back. So this is all through the internet and there's no Federal Express charge. This is tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars that Marvel would be saving a year. I'm not stupid. I've been doing this for a long time. There's no debate. Marvel would be saving money. And he wouldn't be asking me to do this if it wasn't to save money. So when I asked him that, you're going to save money, he said, we're still unsure about that. And I said, no, you're going to save money. I know it and you know it. And he still wouldn't commit to it because he didn't want to divvy up to inkers or people that were going to make this thing work more money. And the reason we should be paid more money and all of us should still be paid more money is they have this thing called, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it. They have an art department. Marvel and DC have an art department. And they used to do these things. They would do all of these little scanning, put things on templates, all of this stuff. More administrative, less talent, oriented stuff. And so I said, you want me to now do these guys' job? And I said, you pay them. Why wouldn't you pay me to format all this work and to do this extra stuff? He said, well, what I'll do is I'll set you up with all the gear for free. And then he said, if it works, you can have it. If not, then we're going to take it back. And so, because that was another concern of mine was the scanners. Like they were expensive because you have to scan 11 by 17 and then you have to print it out. These things were expensive. And also I did not have Photoshop and I did not have any way to do what he was asking for. And also keep in mind, they still had dial-up modems, man. They did not have high-speed internet. High-speed internet was just kind of coming into fashion. So that means that I would have had to pay for high-speed internet. So I ended the conversation. I didn't give him an answer. I said, give me a day. Give me a day to think about it. He goes, why do you need to think about it? I said, I need to talk to some other inkers. I need to talk to some other people in the industry, since my decision is going to affect all these people. If I make this work for you, this is how business is going to be done. And this is what he said to me. He said, why do they need to know? He said, why do they need to know? That's what a weasel says. That's what somebody who's not on the up and up says. So right there, I knew he was a criminal. Right then, I knew he was an asshole. Right? I mean, he didn't thank me for the artwork I gave him or any of that other stuff too. But, sometimes we get busy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This right here, I knew this guy was a number cruncher, and he did not give a shit about the artwork, the integrity, or what he was asking me to do or asking everybody in the industry to do. So I called up Scott Hanna. I called up Danny Mickey. I talked to a couple other inkers. I can't remember who now. It was probably Penosian, somebody else. I can't remember who else. So they all said the same thing. Scott Hanna said he can't even get high-speed internet where he lives. It wasn't even available. So how is he going to do business? So there was a lot of concerns. Basically all the inkers said the same thing. They had all the same concerns I had. Original art market's going to change. We're doing a lot of administrative stuff. We're doing a lot of like the art department work, just a lot of stuff. And we're not going to get paid extra for it. So then I called back and I talked to David Bogart and I said, thank you very much I'm flattered that you wanted to work with me in my studio to try to make this thing happen, but I need to pass because there's this ripple effect that I don't want to be responsible for. I don't want to be that guy that makes this thing work and then changes the industry. I just don't want to be that guy. And so nothing. He was pissed and he slammed the phone down on me. Nothing after that. Then my schedule started getting worse. So now smash cut to New York Comic Con, right? So all that setup, we're all the ultimate guys sitting there having a great ass time. We used to do drawings for free, you guys, back in the day. So Dave Finch and myself, we broke Mark Bagley. Like he did a handful of drawings, but Dave and I are banging stuff out. And they go from simple profiles to full on faces to bust shots to full figures. Like we're just like going back and forth. It was great. And I was learning because I was watching everything he was doing, man. He was not putting structure down, nothing. He was just freaking drawing these things. He was awesome. And it was great. It was a high point to watch Dave Finch draw. So then what happens? This is where it all turns. This is where it goes bad. There's always that one moment you can look back at and go, okay, this is it. Well, there was me saying no to a very powerful guy at Marvel. That was the start. The second was I was doing some work for DC at the time. We were doing 4 or 5 books, me in the studio. And so it was Joan Hilty at DC Comics, and she invited me to go to lunch with her at the con. And so I said, sure, no problem. So as I was walking out, Mark Bagley was there, and I'm walking with Joan, and I just said, hey, Mark, you want to go to lunch? We're going to DC Comics. And Joan is going, and then Joan's like, yeah, have him come along, no problem. So then Mark says, I'll go. So you guys need to understand this stuff happens all the time. Like people go hang out with this guy, Marvel, DC, have lunch, dinner. It happens all the time. It doesn't mean anything. So then I go to DC with Mark and Joan, and then we're walking out of the hall. And so then Joan, pops her head into Dan DiDito's office. And so, she's like, I'm going to go to lunch. You want to go to lunch with us? And Dan said, sure. And so this was Dan DiDito. I know there's a lot of stories that are told. He is awesome. He was awesome. And I don't have anything bad to say about that man. So went out to lunch. And of course, DC are picking up the tab. And they asked the question, Mark, would you be interested in doing a DC project? He has to ask that. He runs DC Comics. He's picking up the tab. He's going to ask the question. And Mark said, I'm pretty happy at Marvel. No problem. So that's as far as it went. And so then I'm enwrapped over here. And then Carl says, this is interesting. Yeah, you guys take notes. And so it was a great lunch. We went back, finished the con. No. Came back. Okay, here's the other player in my demise. CB Chabalski. That dude is Satan. He is Satan, you guys. Don't ever trust this man. Please don't trust this man. He is evil. And he is a backstabber. And so I come back from lunch and to back up one step further, Dave Finch and I were offered Batman after Jim Lee left his run on Hush. So we were asked to follow up Jim and Scott Williams. So it would have been Dave, Finch, and myself doing the follow-up to Batman. And so Dave asked me to come along. And this is before the con. Sorry, you guys, this is kind of out of order sometimes, but we're going to have to kind of go back and forth. We're going to Tarantino this. And so he says, would you like to do Batman? And I said, it's a losing proposition. I followed Jim Lee before on X-Men. Following Jim Lee on Batman is you're open to comparison. The sales are not going to be as good. It's Batman, and I'm a huge Batman fan. And I told him this Ultimate X-Men gig is continuously in the top 5 selling books. It is a strong seller, just steady, strong selling book. No ups, no downs, no whatever. You do Batman, it's going to be crazy. And I have a feeling it's probably just going to start tapering. It might build back up if the writing and stuff was very strong. But, Dave eventually did a Batman run and it didn't sell anything like, that Hush run. So I still think I was right. And I advised Dave to stay at Marvel, stay on X-Men. And we did. So take that, Marvel. I actually told you'll realize where this is going. So just remember this moment in time, just what I told you. So just remember this. So I come back from the lunch with Joan and Dan DiDito and Mark Bagley. CB's there almost exactly when I came in the door, like he was waiting. Right. And CB was an assistant editor. He was nothing really of note at the time. So I didn't necessarily like him, but I didn't dislike him either. So he was just another guy working at Marvel. So he comes in and he does this. I'm a helpful guy. Most people in this comics industry are very, very helpful. If you ask us a question, we'll try to help you. And I feel, especially at this moment in time, being, a senior guy, it's almost my responsibility to help out, younger people coming in, let them know these things. And so he asks me, I want to write comics. And I go, okay, cool. He said, I want to write Batman. And I was like, really? He said, who would I talk to at to do a Batman book? Who would I, blah, blah, blah. I got a couple ideas. So he's making it sound like he's just a freelancer and he wants some advice, right? So helpful guy. I say, I'm trying to help him. And he said, weren't you and Dave offered Batman to follow Jim Lee on Hush? I didn't know he didn't know for a fact. He didn't know exactly. So what he was doing is he wanted me to verify it. I didn't know at the time. I just thought we were talking. So I said, yeah, we were offered the job. I said, but we're not going to take it. And so keep this part in mind. Okay. So New York Con goes great. It was one of the high points. The Ultimate books are amazing. I'm still working under a contract where they don't have to pay me. And so I get back home from New York I'm doing my job. And so I get a phone call out of the blue. I get a phone call from CB, and CB says, "Got some serious stuff we need to talk to you about." And they said, "I have David Bogart on the phone with me." And I'm like, "Oh shit! I should probably go to my because this is gonna piss me off. This is gonna piss me off." So he says to me, "We're gonna have to let you go. We're gonna have to fire you." And I said, "For what? What'd I do? I met all your deadlines. I won all these awards. I'm committed to this." And one thing, when you have a family, you start a family. I've never been like this before. I was always like a mercenary. I'd go wherever the money was. So I had no loyalty really. I'd jump places. But this time, the first and only time in my career did I actually pledge allegiance to Marvel. I'd never had that kind of dedication before. I wanted to make Marvel my be all end all. I wanted to retire there. That was my plan. Raise my family, do all this stuff, right? Because I needed stability. I needed some kind of stability. So I figured I'm going to jump through all your hoops. I'm going to make all your deadlines, and I'm going to be the perfect employee. So then they're like, "You're fired." Why? Why am I fired? And they said, well, there's a series of reasons, but we have heard that you're trying to steal talent from Marvel and bring them over to DC. And I was like, steal talent? How the hell would I go about doing that? How would that happen? It's not my power to hire anybody. And then he said, "Well, we know that's what you were trying to do." And I said, "Is this in reference to the New York show where Mark and I went to lunch with DeDito and Joan?" And he's like that. And we have some other things. And I said, "What are these other things? And who are these people that you're talking about?" And then they do this. This is when you know somebody's an asshole and a liar. He said, "We can't tell you because we don't want to betray these people's trust." And I said, "I've been working for your company for 20 years. I'm responsible for some of the best-selling books that you've ever put out. What the fuck are you talking about? You're questioning my loyalty? You're saying that I'm trying to woo these guys? How the fuck would I even do that? It's not even in my power." I go, "This is ridiculous." And they said, "Well, you're fired from Ultimate Spider-Man." And I said, "This is you, CB." Because they brought up the Batman thing. And I said, "The only one who knew definitively was you. You're the one who told them. I gave you verification, and you went over to Marvel and you ratted me out." He said, "No, I didn't. No." He said, "They knew. It wasn't me." I'm like, "No, it was you. It was you. It was you. You're an asshole and you're a liar right now. And you are breaking my fucking heart right now." I'm thinking, what the fuck am I going to do without Ultimate Spider-Man? And then I said, "What am I going to do without Ultimate Spider-Man?" They go, No. You don't understand. You're fired from Ultimate X-Men too." And I'm like, "For what? What did I do? I had lunch." I said, "This happens all the time. People have lunch. It was harmless." And yes, DeDito asked Mark for if he'd come over, but this happens all the time. You guys fucking do it. You guys go to DC people and ask them. What a fucking hypocrite. How dare you, these double standards, and then come at me for this. So then, and then Bogart adds this. He adds this just to add to insult to injury. He says to me, "And you will never work at Marvel Comics again." He says that to me. After 20 years, he says, "You will never work here again." I'd been working there longer than he had. What the hell are you talking about, man? I'll never work there again. This is crazy, man. I got a family. What have I done? What have I done? And they said, you tried to steal talent. You tried to do this thing. And I'm like, well, as far as I know, this has never been a reason to be fired. I haven't done anything wrong. And how dare you guys? And then I said, is there any way I can change this? Is there anything I can say or do that would change my situation here with you guys? And David Bogart said, no. He said, you'll never work here again. And I said, well, thank you very much for my time here, and you can go fuck yourself. And then I slammed the phone down. And I punched a hole in the wall at the studio, and then I came home. And the hardest thing for a man to say is to tell his wife that he's been fired. And so I had to go home, and I had to tell my wife this. And, you got a little girl, family started here. And she's like, how are we going to make ends meet? And I said, I don't know. I don't fucking know. And that is my story. That's my fucked up Marvel story. They fired me at the top of my game. At least at that moment, I still had plenty to give. It's not over, but that was it. That was it. I should have blanked this thing out because I'm getting emotional here. Yeah, pretty screwed up scenario. I still can't believe it happened to this day. I can't believe. And so after I calmed down, I called Mark Bagley and I called Dave Finch. And I had a great relationship with these guys. It wasn't just a working relationship. We were friends. Like, we went back and forth. Mark would help me, sometimes when I would draw, I'd ask him advice, like how to fix this, how to do that. And, he would draw over my images and send them back. And he would kind of help me out with my anatomy and stuff like that. Mark is great at just drawing figure. His figure work is amazing. And then Dave, I remember talking to him about influences and just, I said to him, I go, you're a cross between Bisley and Kevin Nolan. I said, but only Kevin Nolan when he inked Dan Jurgens on the Superman, what was it? Aliens crossover. And he said, yep. And so, we had a great relationship. And that New York show, Dave and I were pretty much inseparable the whole show. We hung out, dinners in the evening time, the whole 9 yards. So I considered both those guys good friends at the time, not just acquaintances, not just work relationships, but good friends. So I call up Mark, and Mark says, David called me and told me that he was going to fire you. And I said, what did you say? And he said, I said, I don't want this to happen. He said, you look great over me and I'd like to keep this work relationship going. But if that's what you're going to do, then that's what you're going to do. I don't have any say in the matter. So he kind of did a Pontius Pilate. He washed his hands and just, he just said that. So at least there was that. And so I called Dave Finch, and Dave Finch just said, then fire him. So Dave didn't back me at all. He didn't even give a gray area. He just said, see you later. So I was pretty mad at Dave. And to be honest, I'm still mad at him to this day, because to tell you the truth, the reason David Bogart, I have perspective now on this whole thing. The reason David Bogart called those two guys is, one, he didn't want to screw those guys over, because if he would have pulled talent from them, like supporting talent, they might have been upset with it and they might have went to DC. They might not have been happy with losing me on those books, because they both were pretty happy. And there's that. And then when I was looking back, I thought it's also because you were trying to send those guys a message. I was disposable. Obviously they got Scott Hanna in to ink Bagley. I didn't think it looked as good. And they got Danny Mickey to come in and ink Dave Finch, which I also don't think looked as good. And so no harm, no foul, right? They don't miss a beat. They don't miss a beat. I'm disposable. Fuck Art T. Bear. Let him go. Let's send a message to these two. Let's send a message to these two guys, because if we lost these two guys, then we would be in trouble. So I believe the phone call was two-pronged. It was to get their okay and to let David Bogart know that they weren't going to make a stink about losing me, and for David to let them know that heads were going to roll, that talking to Marvel or talking to DC or any competitor was not welcome here, and that you'll have the same fate as what happened to Art. And so it worked for a couple years. Those guys eventually did go over to DC Comics. I think Dave is still there. So what the fuck did you accomplish other than destroying a decent human being's life, which is what you did at the time? You destroyed my fucking life, David Bogart. So fuck you. And fuck you, CB. You guys are shameful. You are horrible, disgusting human beings. And I've waited 10 or so years to say these things to you. Literally, you guys can go F yourselves. You're horrible people. You destroyed me for no reason at all, just to show power and to make an example of me to these other guys. And also, I believe a little bit had to do with the Blue Line situation earlier, because this all happened really close to the same time. So I believe I said no to David Bogart. I said no to David Bogart, and he didn't like it. He did not like it. And so eventually Danny Mickey started falling in line and did the Blue Lines. I didn't do Blue Lines until years later at DC Comics. And I worked out a deal, and this is how cool DC is. They paid for my scanner, and they did increase my page rate because they knew they were asking me to do more work. So you can deal with them like humans. You could actually talk to them, and you can be fair with DC Comics. You cannot. Marvel will not. They are the evil empire, and they rule with an iron fist. And I had never been on the other end of that, and I had never heard a story even prior to what happened to me happening to anybody else. So I think David Bogart is a petty, awful human being. I've sensed talked to other freelancers. They all hate his fucking guts. They think he's a disgusting person. I'm not going to name names, but a lot of freelancers think that. He's not very well liked. So, let that keep you warm at night, David Bogart. And I believe it was to send a message to Dave Finch and to Mark Bagley to not leave and to not take DC up on any of their offers, and because I told David I didn't want to do the Blue Lines because of the ripple effect that it would happen in the industry. And it has happened. I was totally right. It has happened. There are people that still they don't know, is our Blue Lines original? Inkers aren't inking over pencils anymore. And I have my own explanation for that, and that's a tangent, and I'll probably talk about that in a later episode. But that's pretty much my Marvel story that I've been teasing you guys for a year. I've been teasing you guys with this for a year. So, and I told it pretty quickly. It didn't take too long for that. But what good came out of it? Okay, there's always good that came out of it. So when I was fired, I did not start looking for work in the comics industry. I was thoroughly done with the industry. I didn't want to do anything Marvel or DC or independent or anything like that. So I took off and I started developing things for animation and developing shows and start kind of doing the Hollywood shuffle. And I got myself a good agent and started taking meetings and designed a lot of shows and pitched a lot of shows. So I have a lot of IPs that I own. Crona Mechanics got pretty far with Kids WB. I have some stuff I'm going to show you guys, not today, but at some point this week. Some really cool development stuff and some maquettes and different things from the animation venture. And but the great thing that came out of it, is self-reliance. And I realized that these companies aren't going to take care of me. They're not going to take care of anybody. We are all fairly disposable, and I can't rely on them. So that's why I'm here, you guys. That's why I'm bearing my soul to you. That's why I'm doing creator-owned books. That's why I'm going directly to you guys, because screw Marvel. I have nothing against DC, so I'm not going to say screw DC, but it's just not where my heart's at right now. My heart is in Crona Mechanics, Black and White, and other books that I have lined up for you guys. Yes, please do this. So Kevin has the right idea. Hit the like button. And if you guys could tweet this out, let people know that I'm bearing my soul here on YouTube. If I don't laugh, I will cry. Yeah. So what came out of that, what the coolest thing came out of it is I kept the studio together. So all those guys that were going to lose their jobs as well, that I had employed when Marvel fired me, those guys lost their jobs as well. So we finished up our DC work after I was fired at Marvel. So we did do that. And then we started talking about doing comic book stuff. And so we started creating some comic book IPs, as well as I was doing the Hollywood stuff. So Crona Mechanics was an idea I had years before. So I dusted it off. I'm going to show you guys something. This is funny. This is the original, one of the original Crona Mechanics artwork. So I had the tagline, and I had kind of a basic idea that all four of the characters would have different suits, but they'd all be different characters. So it was called Quantum Mechanics at the time. And so I dusted that idea, that version off, and I reinvented it and put it out as a comic book. So I went back to Image Comics, and I published the first Crona Mechanics graphic novel. And I was so proud of that work. I'm so proud of this IP. It was forged out of my pain. There is stuff that's going to even be in this volume, you guys, of Crona Mechanics, where I take a shot at Marvel. So there's these characters named Quickie Time. So the Quickie Time guys, or Quickie Time Repair, is Marvel Comics. And I had no idea how far I was projecting into the future of Marvel when I came up with this idea. There's a character named Joe Q, and he's the boss, and he does not care about anything except for the bottom line. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care what they do, who gets hurt, nothing. He just cares about the bottom line. And so what the Quickie Time guys do is they basically put a Band-Aid on situations. So they fix things with Band-Aids, and they do shoddy work, and they do it all in the name of saving money. And so Marvel now has an SJW agenda, and they're hiring a lot of Tumblr artists in there. Nothing against those guys, but it's not Marvel. They're not mainstream. They're indie Tumblr art. That's what they are. They're not worthy to hold a pencil. I've never talked like this before, you guys, and I probably never will. But I'm pretty angry. I'm pretty fired up. So um, Marvel's pretty much destroyed their legacy, or is in the process of doing that. And CB's now in charge, fitting, and they're going down a really bad path, and their sales are reflecting that. And they're doing a lot of shady business practices, which is par for the course with them. So, there's that. So, like I said, Crona Mechanics was forged from that pain. And so there are aspects of the Marvel stuff that's in the Chrono book, and it is in the Indiegogo campaign that's up right now. So I'm very proud of that book, and it means a lot to me. I think because it was me picking myself up from my bootstraps and deciding, to basically F the mainstream and to stop giving them all my heart and soul, and to put it into a direction that sink or swim is the direction I want to go into. And you guys in the chat, you guys get to decide whether I sink or swim. So I'm here for you. Support the book or don't support the book. It's your call. But either way, you guys don't make the decisions the way they do. You're not making petty decisions. You're not making, it's not personal. You're not trying to hurt me. You're not trying to send a message or anything like that. You either like it or you don't like it. And that's fine. I can live with that. So I'm kind of in more control of my own destiny, which is where I want to be. And also I've waited a long, long time to do these projects and to do them right, and to have this kind of quality time to do these. So when you guys support these indie books, the Comicsgate books and things like that, you're supporting people like me, people that really don't want to go back to the mainstream, that have had enough, and that want to do something different and to tell stories in a different way. Crona Mechanics is a unique story, you guys. It is unique, and you'll never, ever, ever see a book like this. The tone is unique. The artwork is unique. It is completely outside of the box. I am so proud of this, whether it does 1 billion sales or not. I'm so proud of this book because it's me. It's all me. And you can't, Marvel can't pay me enough money. DC can't pay me enough money for that kind of satisfaction. And it's a great looking book. We have Narwhal on colors, and he's elevating this thing. He's bringing this thing to life in a way that I was hoping he would be able to, based on the little bit of work that I saw going into this. And so I love uniqueness. Well, then you're going to love Crona Mechanics, Megan Ponytron, or Mega Ponytron 93. Now, I'm a little lightheaded, you guys. I've been talking a long time. I haven't been breathing. I don't know how to make you a mod, Sweetcast. I know how to do it through YouTube, but I don't know how to do it through StreamYard. So you know what? In the future, when you and I get into a private chat, maybe you can hit me to that, because I would gladly make you a mod. Here is you can't click on it. I don't know if you can, but here's a link to the Chrono campaign. So yes, please go support it. Like I said, I really don't want to go. I don't have a rift with DC. I left on good terms, and I always try to leave on good terms. I never try to burn bridges. It's just not in my personality. It's not who I am. And also, it's a small industry. I've been doing this for 35 years, and I didn't get this far by burning bridges. But at this point in time, Marvel can suck it. Since the Marvel firing and things, Chris Baccello and a couple other A-list guys have asked me to come over and ink and work with them at Marvel. And so just out of curiosity, I know Steve Wacker from the DC days. So I think Steve Wacker was the editor of the Avengers book that Chris was going to do. And I just talked to him. He said, this will have to go through David Bogart. And I said, yeah, I know. Just see what he says. He came back and he said, well, if you apologize to David, he'll take you back. He said, but you're not going to even be hired in at the salary that you left at. So you'll be hired at less. And once you've proven yourself to Marvel that we can trust you again, then, we can give you a better page rate. So I didn't show them the middle finger, but I was flipping them off. I was like, okay, well, nothing's changed. And I've had a heart-to-heart with Joe Quesada, face-to-face. And I mentioned this to him, and Joe's just like, if you apologize to David, I'm sure he'll bring you back. And I said, I didn't do anything wrong, right? He goes, yeah, I know. He actually told me, he goes, I know. He said, but if you apologize to Dave, you can come back. And I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm a big believer in apologizing when I've done something wrong. I'll be the first to apologize. I'm a proud man, but I understand how important an apology is and how much that can mean. So when it's appropriate, I will apologize. But I didn't do anything wrong. If anything, David Bogart should apologize to me. And you know what? In a way, Joe Quesada owes me an apology because he knows the truth, and he didn't say anything. He could have changed the situation. He knew I was a good man. He knew that. He didn't say shit. So, I've never had a falling out with Joe, but I don't trust Joe. I would never, really think of him as a friend or go to him as a confidant. No, there's a thicker skin, and there's a major distrust that I have to a lot of these people, and a lot of them are self-serving and would do anything to gain power, or at the very least, they're scared and they don't want to cross that power. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. So bend the knee to the mouse. Hell no. Back Crona Mechanics instead, and help art. Keep the heat on. Yeah, I just bought a new furnace. 2 new furnaces. Yeah. And man, they're working great. I have never been so comfy in all my life. So yeah, there's a link here. So yeah, any support you guys can give me, I do appreciate it. I believe we have 6 days left on the Crona Mechanics Indiegogo campaign. And so I appreciate, at the very least, you guys tweeting it out, giving me support. If you don't have cash, I totally understand that. It's Christmas time. I do totally understand. But the book really needs to be at about 25K for me to really make everything work. So we're coming up on 15, which is great, because at 15, I can get you the next trading card, and that trading card is going to rock. It's the Caravaggio trading card, and that's a truck going by, and that would make my heart sing to be able to get all 4 of those trading cards, because they're the 4 variant cover superstar trading card set. So I have sets of trading cards within sets of trading cards. So if you haven't heard, every one of the tiers with a book has a corresponding trading card with it, which is very, very cool. So it's free. It's just me thanking you guys for the support. Those trading cards are going to rock. And then there's 10 cards in that. And so if you want to get all 10 of those cards, back the ultimate tier, because there's 6 cards that come with the other tiers, but there's 4 of those cards that you can only get in the ultimate tier. So if you're a completionist and you want to get all those cards, that's the only place you can get those 4 extra cards and get all 10 of them. And it's actually it's a discounted deal. So it's probably the best deal in the tiers. So there's that, and like I said, there's 4 stretch goal cards, and we're so close to the last one, the Caravaggio card, and then there's one more trading card at 16K, and then that'll be a total of 15 cards for this whole thing. So that's pretty cool. I dig trading cards, man. I dig them, and it's so 90s, you guys. It's so freaking 90s. I love that. And what is this? Get those fancy cards. Indiegogo. Thank you so much, Pixel, and thanks for putting the links up and things. I do appreciate that. You guys are the best. I could probably keep going. Let's cross this off your list. Windows is a service. What is this? Keep running smoothly. I hope you guys can't see this, so I'm just going to say remind me tomorrow. Yeah, whenever those pop-ups happen, it scares the shit out of me. I don't understand this computer to that extent that it doesn't freak me out. I'm still debating that, Benjamin. Hopefully, if we can get to that 25, I won't have to do the in-demand store. So that's what I'm hoping for, because I'm not a greedy man, but at 25, we can make everything work. If not, we might have to, just for practicality, have to keep it going in demand to try to generate, I guess, long-term, outside of the initial campaign, the money to make everything work. So that's kind of the idea at this point. But thank you for asking. I do like answering your questions. So we have Cam 1138. It's a crime unless it hits 25 before close, and 50K before the in demand is over. If this hits 50K, you guys, you would just make my year. I got to upgrade my pledge. Hey, I'm all for anything. And I've been posting some work in progress stuff. So there's a couple work in progress images on the Indiegogo, but the camera just blows everything out. You can't see these, but I scanned these in. I'm gonna post these up in an update. So I have some working drawings and some concept stuff from Crona Mechanics that's going to be in the work in progress sketchbook. So I want to give you a couple more images so you'll have an idea of what the Indiegogo work in progress sketchbook will look like. You know what? Maybe I'll do a show tomorrow. Maybe that'll be my show tomorrow, and I'll set the camera up in a better way so it won't blow out these images and you can see them better, and show you what you're in store for with the work in progress sketchbook. That thing's going to be so cool, and it's probably like 15 years of drawing. And I'm gonna bust out the that old stuff that I was showing you. The early stuff is going to be in the sketchbook. There's a pitch that we did for Fox Animation. We did a pitch in the form of a comic book. I think it's 11 pages. So that's going to be in there, or at least parts of that's going to be in there. And my Warner Brothers pitch, movie pitch or TV pitch is going to be in there. TV animation is going to be in there. Probably not in its entirety, because I think it would be boring to read these things from start to finish, but aspects are going to be in there. So it's going to be a mishmash of all kinds of development stuff over the past 15 years. So that work in progress book is going to be really, really cool. So I'll show you more of those images and stuff as we go along. And I'm going to share, just so in case there's nobody or there's people out there. Oh yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. The $50 tier is the one with the book with the work in progress. So it comes with the 48-page comic, and it comes with the work in progress book as well. So there's that. Let me I almost hit the leave studio, which wouldn't be good. So share screen, click this, pull this lever, hit this, go here. So this is the Crona Mechanics Indiegogo. Yeah. Oh, 5 days left. So it just turned over. We have 5 days left. So is that Saturday? So today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wait a minute. Is that Sunday? 5 days left. Yeah, maybe it's Sunday. So yeah, so basically the weekend is going to be the last day to back this book. We have 14,615, 190 backers. Crona Mechanics, they do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day. This is true. And you guys don't not leave without clicking these cogs, because these cogs are hilarious. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I got some famous quotes by some famous people throughout time. They were gracious enough to give me reviews on the book. So that's pretty cool. So, and it's a lot of fun. So at this point, it's 48 pages. I still have hopes to get it up to a 60-page book. I have a bunch of extra pages that I have written that I want to get into the book, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because I was kind of hoping that we would be a lot further along on this campaign than we are at this point. But I do understand different and unique is a little different. I think people are a little bit more hesitant with stuff that is completely unique and different. And nobody knows me based on this style. So this isn't my Marvel DC style. This is a fairly unique style. And this style only exists in this book, you guys. So if you want to see me draw in this style, this is the only place you can get it, because this is the only place it's going to exist. This style defines Crona Mechanics. So it's a very personal style, and I take a lot of pride in it. So Marvel will never get their mitts on this style. So I got some story pages here, a lot of cool tiers. So I'm just going to show you some of the interior pages. I added a few more the other day, and I might add a couple more before it's all said and done. So these are the newer pages. So this is time merging. So when time merges, all kinds of different anomalies and things can happen. So this is prehistoric time, and a 50s cafe just pops into existence because the timelines are merging, meaning that all kinds of different times are going to merge on themselves. So you're going to see all kinds of strange things happen as far as the landscape. So Chrono is, I'm so proud of this guy. This is a completely unique concept. If you want to read a comic tonally and just story-wise and plot that's unlike anything you've ever read before, pick this book up, because I'm not kidding when I say this. This is a completely unique book. I think I have a quote also by Kevin Smith. So I have a review from Kevin Smith. I have a review from, this is older stuff though, from actually from Bigfoot Bill, Doug TeNapel, from Chris Saunders. Chris Saunders was the creator of Lilo and Stitch. Who's the other one? Steven Silver, who created or did the visual creation of Kim Possible. He also did the, oh my gosh, what is it? It's not Mallrats. Maybe it is Mallrats. Holy shit, what is that? The animation, the Kevin Smith animated cartoon that didn't last very long. Steven Silver did the designs of that. He's a friend, and so he gave me a review as well. And so I got an old review from Bill Ray, who did a lot of bad, Ren and Stimpy work. What is that guy? John Quickfalusi. He worked in his studio and took a lot of abuse from that guy. So I know there's some others. Oh, this one's really odd but cool. Orson Scott Card, you guys. I have an Orson Scott Card review of Crona Mechanics. I met him at San Diego Comic-Con some years ago, and he saw the book and he fell in love with it. He's like, this is so freaking cool. I said, would you do a review? And he said, sure. And so he did a quick review of Crona Mechanics, and he really did single out the artwork. He said it's a great concept, but the artwork is just amazing. And so he hired me. It didn't happen, but he wanted to do a web comic, and it was based on one of his short stories. It was like based on Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, I would say that he's a friend, and he got his ass handed to him with God, what was the book called? And they made it into the movie with Harrison Ford. Man, I am so blanking on this stuff, but he's a cool guy. Here's the work in progress sketchbook. So this is the cover of it. I thought this is the stuff you guys are gonna find. I think this stuff is way outside the box. It is so creative. Sometimes I amaze myself, like, how did you come up with this? So this is a blueprint of what a Crona Mechanic is. So that's going to be the cover. And I like that, the blueprint has Hack Shack 3 on it. So it has HS like in the corner here. So it's a lot of fun. And so these are the images that you'll find in the sketchbook. So there's only 3 images here, but I am going to do an update today and show you some more of the images. And I'll probably do a YouTube show where I do the same. So there's that. Oh, I got to explain this. I did, just for fun, I did Doug, because Doug is the 70s rock star. He's called the D. So this is the D as Slash from Guns N' Roses. And I also did one of the D as Ted Nugent. So if I had to compare the D, I would say he's kind of a cross between Steven Tyler and Ted Nugent. So he's definitely of the 70s time. So he's got the voice of Steven Tyler and the bombastic guitar playing of Ted Nugent. So I did a bunch of like little sheets, like one sheets kind of animation of different like character attitudes. So this is Oot here. What is this? You want to talk to people?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Yeah, so
you're on a roll.
I'm on a roll. My wife just brought in some numbers, so I'll have to kind of update you guys on that. So yeah, so this is Ood. I think I did 2 or 3 sheets, just different personality, just like different things, range of emotions and stuff like this, very animation. So one good thing about after Marvel canned me is I really started studying animation, and I was always more realistic based with my artwork. As a kid, I loved the Disney animation and the Hanna-Barbera stuff. But as an adult, I went more into illustration. So I wanted to be a serious illustrator. I wanted to be like Drew Struzan or something like that. So I kind of ditched that. So the time that, getting myself off the monthly grind of working at Marvel gave me some time to develop and start, taking my interest into other places. So I started really getting into animation. So that's another reason Crona Mechanics existed, because I just started drawing these like crazy, more animation-based characters. But also it helped my realistic drawing. I can't believe I never really, I never understood the level of importance comic books and cartooning is to comic book storytelling, and just to get ideas down quickly and to get the range of emotions and the attitudes down. And it helped me greatly as an artist. So I think if Marvel wouldn't have done that, Crona wouldn't exist, and I would never be as well-rounded as I am right now. So I really did. I took that time to study. I took that time to study and to kind of relearn things. And I believe I'm a better artist for it. So I could just brag and just boast on this Indiegogo site all day, but I will not. I am going to go up to my total, and I'm going to hit refresh, and then I'm going to shut this bad boy down. So yes, we're at 14,615. So let me go somewhere first and see what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do this. All right. Oh, wait, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I hit the wrong button. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back for the attack. I hope you guys can still see this. This is the Crona site. So we're at 14,615. So let me hit the refresh button. Oh, it's taking forever. 14,835. We have 195 backers. So we're 5 backers away from 200 backers. So what is that, like 4 or 5 books that we sold just in this little stream here, my little tell-all stream. So thank you guys very much. You're amazing. You made my day. It's noon, so I think I'm going to go out and celebrate with my wife and take her to lunch. I can hear the rips of tape, so I know she's packing up more black and white books for you guys. So also just remember, the black and white books are still going out. Be patient. We're mailing them out. At least a package every other day goes out. So those are going out. I just got confirmation that somebody in Argentina just got their book. So we're not going in order, you guys. We're not going from number 1 to 2. We're trying to do as many different tiers and as many different areas of the states and of the country as we can. Just because, if you haven't heard, I paid for an early shipment of black and white books, just so I can get them into your hands sooner. So I paid Global PSD's blood money to get a shipment in early. So that's why we're able to get out books right now. So to be fair, we didn't want to go from 1 to, 1,500 or however many we sold. We wanted to kind of jump around. And actually it was Pamela, my wife's idea, to do it, just to try to be more fair. So a lot of different tier levels and a lot of different countries and stuff are going out as well. So I thank you guys. This is overwhelming. We're we're under 200. So what is that, like 160? Is that 200? Wait. Is that 165? 165, I think. 165 away from the trading card. So that's pretty close, you guys. That's just a couple books. So if you could help tweet this out, get the word out, and maybe we can get that trading card into your hands today, which would be pretty phenomenal. So let me stop sharing. I'm going to go back to my StreamYard. So I'm back. Oh, man. I'm sorry, you guys. I've really been neglecting my keep going in the stream until we hit 15. Are you guys kidding me? I don't want to bore you guys any more than I already have. Hey Pamela, Mighty Geek Studios says hello, Pamela.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Hi.
I think Cam wants me to keep going until we hit 15K.
Get that other card.
Yeah, get the card. Yeah, and I think I should do the math in my head. Okay, do the math in your head. We're 165 away, right? From
60,
15.
I think. 160.
160? No, 165. So that would be 0, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
I'm going to keep talking. I'm trying to do the math. Somebody in the chat, hey Christina, and I believe Christina puts links. She's a mod in some other people's YouTube channels, and I think you put out chrono links. So if you are the same, Christina, I thank you for doing that. These are guerrilla marketing. This is all, word of mouth. So any help, you guys, is greatly appreciated. My wife's writing on the table and we're shaking the camera.
Oh.
They're probably, it's an earthquake. That's funny. So, Sticky Wicked says he's still checking his mailbox hourly, patiently. Wait a minute. I thought you were one of the people that got the book early. Maybe not.
What
This-
was his backer number?
Would you remember the backer number if you said it?
I can go check.
All right, Sticky, since we're going to continue this a little longer, so if we're going to keep this going a little longer, you guys need to start backing this book to keep me going. Wait a minute.
165.
It is 165. So
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah.
Woohoo! In my head. In my head. Cool. Yeah. Let me, because I'm kind of going back and forth in the chat. Let's see if ooh, wait a minute. I got a $20 super chat as well. Oh my gosh, I can't even keep track of all this that's going on. I'm used to my low key
Wow, this is so cool.
yeah, I'm looking. Oh, there you are, Sheldon. Thank you. Sorry to hear about your end at Marvel and the fallout you had to deal with. Yeah, but you know what? Water under the bridge, and
maybe for you, I remember your face when you walked in the door. You looked like a puppy that had been kicked in the face. It just broke my heart, and it makes me angry every time I think about it.
because it was totally unnecessary. It was completely unnecessary. Ooh, on a roll. Hell yeah, we're on a roll. Let me move forward and see if Sticky Wicked has given me his number. Because if you give me your number, if you're still in the chat, give me your number and Pamela will go downstairs real quick and see if your book went out. So I know you're a regular and you're a big supporter of everything we do. So
Shinto, get in the doorway.
oh, the earthquake. Oh my gosh, what it was in the Ghostbusters trailer, and they showed like the house shaking, and then they all jump under a table, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man, that table isn't gonna stop a multi-story house from coming down on you and keeping you safe. The door is right there. You might want to just run out the door because the ground, I guess, can open up on you, but the likelihood of something falling on you is greatly diminished. I've learned all these things because Southern California, we live in earthquake country. So thank you so much for the super chat, too. That was amazing. Get in the doorway. I'm trying to...
Will there be any more original? Yes, Kevin, we will put up some.
Are you kidding, Kevin? Go down and put a piece up right now. We'll kick ass. No, I'm not kidding. They want me to stay on, man. We got let me see. We got another backer. We got another backer. Yeah. So let's keep going, Pamela. This is how we're doing. All right. So oh, here. Okay, you got this. Okay, you got two things to do now while I entertain the troops here. I'll write it down for you.
And one more.
4
Sticky Wicked.
3.
Don't look up the other. I can find it off of the 443.
Yeah, I think they combined because actually Indiegogo is way cooler than Kickstarter.
I can figure out how to.
And I'll show you the page. I'm gonna go screen share and let's see if Kevin would like this page. Screen share. And I'm going to go to the site so you can put this up for Kevin. You know what we could do? Because I think...
Oh my goodness, that's an awesome double page.
I know, but Kevin's such a good supporter, and I think he's asking because he might want another page. And if so, if it's just going to Kevin, I could make one of these double pages available at a Kevin price. Either that, I'm going to let you decide, Pamela. Either that or we can put this page up, which is a killer page. This is a fun page. This is the beginning of when you start seeing that things aren't quite kosher.
Hey guys, can you front me some green?
Yeah, that's what Doug's saying right there. Well, you want to put up the this page here, Pamela, or do you want to put up the double page?
Up a couple. There might be other people that would be. You said that other people had asked you.
Okay, well let's do this killer double page. The dog leaping down.
Okay, with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And Geraldo.
And Geraldo. That's Geraldo Rivera right there. And then the other one we'll do at the norm price.
Okie dokie.
So if you set those two up, check out Sticky's 443.
Yes,
and I'll keep the troops entertained. So this page right here is going to go up at a special Kevin discount, and then this page right here will go up. And yeah, this is the page when they all realize that time is merging. And so this is you get to see Doug in action here too, flirting with the gal with the 50s cafe. What do they call them? Roller hops, car hops. I think they were called car hops. So do they have a place called, is it Rallies? There's a place out here that they still have like these, it's not just girls on roller skates, but they come out and they bring your food to you. And these two double pages work kind of in conjunction with each other, because this is almost like a prelude to the story. So this is an introduction to Doug, aka the D. And so we give you a brief history on Doug's illustrious 70s lifestyle. So this is Doug rocking a sold-out show. And so one of the backstories of Doug is a little of a lone wolf. Doug is he's tired of working with people. So he's tired of having to answer to a band. He feels like he is the show. People are just there for him. No one cares about the supporting guys. So this is the Doug tour, or as we call it, the D tour. 1978. We have a 1978 poster available too for you guys, which represents this actual tour. So this is the D tour that's in the comic here. And so this is Doug basically as a montage. So each one of the panels have him in various parts of his set as he's rocking a sold out crowd. And so all these pedals on the bottom in this big image, like I guess it's panel 2 of all those. If you're a guitar player, like you use a lot of effects pedals and stuff. And so he's got a bunch of accessories and effects pedals. And this is before sampling, you guys. So Doug was a trendsetter. Each one of those pedals represents a band member. So he can use the pedals to play the drums, bass, rhythm guitar, all kinds of stuff. So Doug really is at this point a one-man show. So this is a montage of him doing his set. And so at the very end, since this is the 70s and Geraldo Rivera was a big time 70s guy, he's doing kind of a documentary behind the scenes, a rockumentary, if you will, of D. So then the last 3 panels of this are basically him wrapping the show up and going to do an interview with Doug. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens to Doug, but if you've been paying attention to these streams, you are probably going to know what happens to Doug. And so then this next double page is, it goes before that other one. So this is basically showing the popularity of Doug or the D. So these are all a bunch of prominent magazines of the 70s. So TV Guide, 17 was a big girly magazine. And then there was magazines called Hairstyle. So Doug was sporting the mullet before it became fashionable. One might say he invented the mullet, maybe. And so then there's Guitar Magazine And then there's Teen Beat on the bottom. So those are the different magazine covers. And Rolling Stone, of course. D Kills Disco is one of the headings. So they all each have like fun little sayings on them. And then it says D is everywhere. And so at that, the first panel on the top right is Doug on the Tonight Show. And this is the 70s. So keep in mind, that is Johnny Carson. So that's a Crona Mechanics version of Johnny Carson. So it's not only like Crona Mechanics style is not just, caricaturing or cartooning. It's very specific. So I had to figure out how to do a Johnny Carson image and still keep and make it look like it's in the Crona Mechanics universe. So I thought I nailed it. I thought it came out pretty good. And so then I'm very proud of the Geraldo Rivera as well, even though he was a lot easier to do because he's got the big mustache and the bushy hair. So he was an easy one to do. So yeah, those are the two. Well, I guess that's 3 pages that Pamela's putting up now. So we have that. So that's very cool. I'm going to go back to the stream. And then Pamela will be up in a bit with Sticky's info. And I'm going to give you guys another one of these. So please go check out Crona Mechanics. It is the labor of love. And it really is. It was my comeback from the Marvel humiliation. And I don't know if women really understand this, but men do. When you take away a man's livelihood, like what Marvel did to me, it's devastating. There are men that never recover from it. There are men that actually they kill themselves because there's so much relying on that income. I mean, it's like hunting and gathering. It's the modern day equivalence to hunting and gathering. If you don't kill the deer, then you don't eat and your family starves. So commerce, income, these are modern day equivalents of that. And when people, these SJWs and some of these people are like, they really cry out and say, get that guy fired, get that guy fired. He said some things or he did some stuff. So instead of getting his hand slapped or getting penalized in some way, they're not happy with that. They want to destroy that human being. And until you've really been destroyed by a corporation, a company that you were loyal to, you don't know what that feels like. You don't know what that actually feels like. And to be that cavalier about somebody's life is horrible. And that's one of the other reasons that, I hang with these Comicsgate guys, is because they do speak out against some of this stuff. And if you have a different point of view, if you're more conservative or you're more, progressive, I don't give a shit. But when you start trying to hurt people, or when you start cheating, or you start going to these kind of extents to destroy people or just to win, these people lie. They lie. As much as Jon Favreau is a great guy, Mandalorian and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I still like the guy professionally. I think he does great work. But it wasn't too long ago when these photos were coming out along the border, and there were these kids in cages and in like different cells and stuff like that, because they were being separated from their parents and stuff like that, and they were in holding places until we could figure out what to do, to deport them or whether they should be brought into the country or what. Like, it's just a holding area, and these holding areas aren't even as nice as like Motel 6. Like, they're holding areas. They're not your living room. They're not your family room. They're not really nice places. But to be honest, there's also laws that are being broken. So we're as compassionate as we can be, we're as giving as we can be. But these photos were horrible. There were kids in cages. And the headline was, "This is on Donald Trump's watch." And the left was saying that these are all because of Donald Trump and his policies. And even Jon Favreau tweeted this stuff out. And then it came out that that just wasn't the case. I don't care if you're left or right. I don't. And I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or Obama supporter. I don't care. These things are wrong. False narratives, lack of truth is wrong. If somebody did something bad and you can prove it, then prove it. Do that. But don't trump the stuff up, no pun intended, to try to hurt somebody or to mess with their integrity or, their livelihood. So it came out that these photos and all this stuff were taken on Obama's watch. They weren't taken on Trump's watch. And apparently they had proof of these things. And so the liberal media, they call it the access media now. I kind of like that. They did not apologize. And Jon Favreau didn't really apologize either. He just kind of came out and said, "Oh, this happened. Apparently it wasn't on Obama's watch, or it wasn't on Trump's watch." I don't even think he said that much about it, but he never really came clean. So even when the truth comes out, they double down on the false narrative. And that's where the problems happen for me personally. One standard will do. One truth will do. That's it. When you lie and you cheat to try to discredit somebody because they disagree with you, that's criminal. That's horrible. That's what Marvel did to me. Don't do this, people. Don't do this. If the truth really is that horrible, let the truth be self-evident. If these things truly did happen, you don't have to create a narrative. You don't have to say these things, because the truth will speak for itself. And I'm a fair enough minded person. If that did happen on Trump's watch, I would be outraged, the same as I was outraged when I found out that it was on Obama's watch. So, one standard, people, one standard. We don't have to create false narratives. So I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm waiting. So yeah, there is a political hack also named Jon Favreau. Are you serious? No, they made this sound like it was the guy. Hollywood Favreau is totally different guy from the Democrat. Seriously? Well, then I'm spreading a false narrative. Ha 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 ha. Are you guys sure? Are you sure? I don't know. I'm going to have to look this up now, because I thought I read an article and it could have been another false narrative. But if I'm wrong, I completely apologize, which I could be. It's kind of funny. Infinite forgiveness, T-Bear. So he spells his name exactly? Is it spelled the same way? That is interesting. Okay, so then I just killed 10 minutes talking about the great Jon Favreau, director of Iron Man and overseer of Mandalorian. I like the guy's work, and I met the guy once, and I liked him as a person. So I'm glad to hear that that is not true. So thank you guys for enlightening me. So if there's anybody listening, for the record, I am retracting. Spelled exactly the same. Okay. So there's two guys. That is really weird. Yeah, he's a speechwriter. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. So now I will not be spreading that false narrative. But you notice I didn't say, I want him fired. I am outraged. Jon Favreau should not have a job. So I didn't go that far. He's a skinny dude. We have an election tomorrow in the UK, and the BS from all sides that is being spread about. I know that they've always done this, but I think the fundamental difference that I'm noticing is that people are trying to, they're not going after politicians even, they're going after just people like themselves for having a different viewpoint. If you wear I'm probably going to spread falsities here now, but like a MAGA hat or something like that, then you're considered, the Antichrist. Cancel art. Show him disappointment. You're backing Crona Mechanics. No. I'm gonna check. All right. I think we're still going up. This is cool, you guys. I'm gonna screen share and see how much we've gone up, because I'm gonna keep talking politics, which is something I don't know a whole lot about. Obviously, I'm showing my my ignorance. All right, so 14,835. If we can get to 15, then you guys will be done with me. 835. 8. Ooh, holy poo-poo on toast. We are $101 away. I could do that math in my head. So that's pretty darn cool, you guys. Thank you so very, very much. So we are so darn close. I can taste it. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and you guys are going to have to help me out in the chat, because we're basically doing some time killing, trying to entertain the troops until Pamela gets those tears up, and we can see what's going to happen there. And also, Sticky Wicked, Pamela's trying to get your see if your book went out or not. Okay, I canceled Art by sending him several dollars via Indiegogo. Thank you, guys. And also, for the record, just to give you some updates on Chrono, this is my book, and I keep track of everything. Wait, I got to put this up. Dance, T-Bear, dance. Yeah, I've been dancing for the last 10 minutes. Talking about crap I have no knowledge of. But this is the book. I do have knowledge of this. So what I do is I put, as the pages get done, I put them together in the form of a book. And so this is page 13, 14, 15, 16. These are, I did some of these pages in some of the YouTube chats. So if you go back in my history, you can see some of these pages being worked on. So I just formatted 28 this morning and 30 this morning. So I don't want to show you these pages, but 30 and 28 are formatted. There's 2 panels that I have to finish, 1 panel each on this. So 31 Narwhal has, 32 Narwhal has for color, 33 he has. 34 is with render. So I did the layouts. These are the layouts. I don't know if you can see them. You know what? I'm going to see if I turn this light off, if that makes a difference. It makes a little bit of a difference. Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, it makes a little difference. So here's my thumbnails. This is usually what I give to render. So 35 is with Narwhal, 36 and 37, and then 38 I have layouts for that I just have to tighten up. So we're pretty much up to 37. So 37 out of 48 pages. So what is that? 11 pages left. And we're not even at the end of the year. So this book is looking good for completion. Hopefully we can get to the 60 pages. If we can get to the 60-page stretch goal, then I'll have to do more pages, but the story will be that much better as well. I'll be able to pad out some of the backstory, and there's some much needed action. So I'll be able to get into a lot more of the action stuff. And there is a backstory on one of the characters that will be completely unexpected, that you guys will dig. Slick Rick says, too late, Art. I just canceled both John Favreau's just to be on the safe side. Yeah, you know what? You can never be too safe. So, scattershot, use a shotgun. It pretty much takes everything down at the same time. Have the black and white original pages shipped? No, we haven't got to that tier yet, Kevin. So those will go. You know what? You haven't got your book yet, Kevin, right? I'll check after, but I'm not going to do this during the show, but I'll check and see with Pamela. Art work tier, black and white. Kevin. Yeah, I'll check on that and see if that has gone out. I don't think so, though, because it's a bigger box. But there were some 11 by 17 boxes downstairs, so I don't know if those were for the Black Friday sale I had on my original art site, or if that was some of the black and white artwork. So I'll look into that for you guys. Well, for you, Kevin. Let's talk about okay. I know what you're talking about. That's the Twitter, the little kid that's playing the drums, right? It's phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. There's proteges. I can't believe it. Like when I was playing music when I was 15, 16, I think I played music all the way up to my mid 20s. Somewhat professional. I mean, I was getting paid. I was playing nightclubs and things like that. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have these things. These kids now are raised on YouTube. They can see videos of these actual guys that wrote this music and played this music. They can watch those guys play. And with the audio now, some of these things, they can separate audio tracks. So they can separate drums from guitar and so on and so on. It's absolutely insane. There's this guy, I can't remember his name, but he does this. He'll take a rock song, and he's an engineer, and he takes the different tracks. He removes them all. And so he can isolate the tracks. So he can show you, like, this is this guitar track. This is the lead guitar track. These are the overdubs. This is how many times they overdubbed. All of this stuff. It's absolutely insane. And this, I'll show my age, but there's a Boston song. It's called More Than a Feeling. And you guys might know it. And there's a singer named Brad Delp, R.I.P., an amazing, amazing singer. This was before cut and paste technology. This is before, what do they call it? I forget the machine that puts things, like it has like, what is that called? It's like a drum click track that you play to. It has a name, a tech name. It'll come to me. And it was before all that stuff. It was all on tape. It's all on tape. It's not digital. Well, I mean, it's not, I guess digital, where they put things on chips and things like that. So, that's it. Oh my God. You guys are so cool. Yes, you listen to him. That guy's awesome. He is one of my favorite dudes. Like and sometimes, did you see the one where they redid a Beatles song? Like he had his friend come in and sang just like Paul McCartney or whoever it was. It was like Strawberry Fields or something like that. And they did all the dubs, and that guy played the guitars and everything. And man, it almost sounded exactly like the original recording. That Rick Beto, I wonder if that's his real name, because that's a killer name for a rock guy. It's like your last name being called Rock. Like, what is the drummer for Queensryche? Is it Rockenfield or something like that? Yeah, I don't think it's his stage name, but it could be. And then, yeah, his show is What Makes This Song Great. So he analyzes these songs and tears them apart. It's absolutely phenomenon. It's phenomenal. It's really cool. So if you like music, or if you're a musician, go sub that guy, because that show is really, really fun. That and the what is his name? The drunken he does reviews. He's a writer. I can never remember that guy's name. He's real good too. What the hell is that guy's name? Oh, okay. I'm reading the chat now. It'll come to me. That song was on Happy Gilmore. Oh, More Than a Feeling. Yeah, that guy goes to the moon. He isolates those tracks on that Boston song, and they isolate that singer, and that one note that just goes on forever, sustains. That's that guy. He's doing that. It's not studio. It's not dubbing. It's not, an effect. It's that guy. I think his name's Brad Delp. I don't really know his name. You know what? Something drunk. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see what is this. Let's see if I can do this without interrupting my show. What was, what is, oh, it's The Critical Drinker. Yeah, it's The Critical Drinker is his name. So that show's real good too. Those are my favorite shows now. What Makes This Song Great and The Critical Drinker. That guy is really fair with his assessments and has some really cool, like, technical insight. The Critical Drinker. He plays a character like a drunkard, but it's still fun. It's still fun to listen to, and he's a pretty smart guy. Yeah, let's blast CB. I'm not going to stop it. So this is going to be my my thread, or my stream, where I blast all the Marvel guys. So CB looks like your typical fat soy boy who still has hangups from being bullied at school. He sounds like Mark Waid too. Yeah, I've never had a bad run-in with Mark Waid. He's been my editor. He's been my boss a couple times. And I don't have a personal bad Mark Waid story to tell. But what he's doing right now with diversity in comics and Zach, it's not good. He should actually just come clean on that and just be done with it. But he's going to try to break Zach financially, and it's just not that cool. Yeah, The Critical Drinker. Thank you. And we have Matt Yackey, who listens to Rick as well. That's a great show. It's the show that I wish I had the time to produce, because it's done so well, man. Even if you're not a musician, you can appreciate the way he tears it all down. Oh, yeah. Like the drummer for ZZ Top with the beard. Yeah. It's pretty appropriate. So what they used to, they nickname him Two Beards and a Drummer. Is that what they'd call ZZ Top? Because the two guys have beards, the guitar player, bass player, but the guy with the name Beard does not have a beard. And his last name is Beard. So I think I missed a super chat here. I'm going to go back and see. I think it was during the craziness that was going on. I think they delete these things if they go too far back. But if I missed your super chat, okay, here it is. $2, just broke it. That was a different John Favreau. Yeah. Thank you for hipping me to that, dude. And thank you for the super chat. So let me go. I'm going forward in time, or at least to this time. So, oh, yeah. So we are 101 away from the 15K. Somebody said stay on, Art, until we hit 15. And Pamela's getting 2 tiers up. So we'll see if those tiers can move us past or not. She'll probably yell up when she gets them. What's up with the title? Yeah, it's been so long. We've been going so long that, yeah, the title doesn't really apply anymore. But I encourage you to go back, once we're done here, and give it a listen. If you want to see like what Marvel is truly capable of and what kind of devastation they can inflict on their talent, on their freelancers, on somebody who gave them nothing but dedication and good work can do, go back once we're done here and listen to the stream, because it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to me that humans are capable, and this isn't even really that bad, but it's amazing what humans are capable of. I mean, they're capable of some greatness, but they're also capable of some pretty disgusting shit. Oh, I don't know what. Okay, so CB was promoted for committing payroll. Did he really? How did he do that? I know under his, I think it was his watch that they did that stupid ass B, C, D, E, F, whatever alphabet page rate, where if you were on a D level book, like if they deemed that book a D level book, you got the D level page rate, no matter who you were. According to them, no matter who you were, you got that page rate. So if you took a 35-year comic book veteran like myself that would ink the shit and even draw the shit out of any of their books, go in. If I was on a D-level book, I would get the D-level page rate, no matter who you are. I have 35 years of skill, of a craft, of understanding. That has to mean something. And also I have been, and I consider myself still, a fan favorite. So I'm still up there, as far as what I do for a living. So to not give me one of the better page rates, if not the best page rate, is pretty criminal. And then to just demote me and justify like, oh, well, this book is selling this, so we can't justify a paycheck to you. Well, the problem isn't the talent. The problem isn't the people that you're hiring. The problem is you asshole. Fucking market your book better. Go out and sell. That's what your freaking job is. Go out and market, advertise, sell shit. Why does the talent, why are we beholden to this? Why do we pay the price? Because you can't sell a book. It's BS. It is completely and utter BS. This industry will humiliate and demean the talent in any way they can. And I'm mainly talking about Marvel. It's just criminal. It's absolutely criminal. The stuff that they did, the stuff that they did when I was working there, and the stuff they are doing now is absolutely insane. So to answer your question earlier on, go back. I tell my Marvel story. of how they destroyed me, or at least tried to destroy me, that I've been teasing for the last year, and that I've never told in this detail before. I've always kept it pretty close to my to myself, close friends, family, but I've never told this story before, because also I used to be one of those guys that it's like, I don't really want to perpetuate this. I just want it to go away, and I want to move forward. But sometimes I think to move forward, you have to exercise some of the demons. So that's what this chat is all about. So let me see here. I just got, oh shit. Do I dare dream? Let's see what, I think we just went up again. Thank you guys for hanging out, and thank you so much for heating this campaign up. Yeah, so this is pretty monumental. I think we're 5 days away from ending this. And like I said earlier, if I can get to 25K, between 20 and 25K, I know it's $10,000, but I've seen things like this happen before. And when this community comes together, all kinds of miracles can happen. So that's what I'm still gearing up for, is that. And if we can get to 25K, then everything will be good. I'll be able to pay everybody and make a little scratch for myself and my family to get us to the next campaign. So thank you, Pixel, for putting that up. And I think Sketch put one up as well. So thank you guys for giving me shout outs. Excuse me. And if anybody's coming in right now, please give me a thumbs up and possibly tweet this out and let people know that I'm bearing my soul and that Crona Mechanics is on fire. Better yet, Crona Mechanics is on fire right now. But ooh, fiduciary duty. He did a duty, a fiduciary duty. What is this now? This goes against allow someone to committee. Well, is he still working there? I don't know. Has he been fired? This sounds pretty serious if it's true. Oh, thank you, man. Keep producing your own comics and we will keep backing them. Thank you so much, man. I have an idea based on a lot of your input. So I have an idea for a story and a intellectual property that I've been playing with, but it's more of just kind of and like a G versus E action adventure. But it doesn't really have the window dressing yet. Like, I don't really have the characters and I don't really have the hook yet. But through this Chrono campaign, I've been kind of opening it up to like, what do you guys want to see? What do you want? And so you guys have been giving me some feedback. So this next IP after Black and White 2 and after I do Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too, Volume 2, after I get those two campaigns done, and that's going to be into the new year. So probably February, March, I'm going to do those two. And also I have another campaign, and I don't know when they're going to do this, but this is through Dynamite. I have my Black and White, Vampirilla cover that, if you want, I can go there. Hold on. Let me, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if I can find it for you guys and see if I don't jeopardize everything here. My computer's running kind of slow. I have a lot of tabs open. I'm pretty proud of myself. I haven't screwed up yet. Okay, I think this is, wait, is this it? I think there's another one. Let me see. No, this is it. All right. Let me go back to you guys. So I have a little thing set up here for you guys to check out, and this will be another campaign that's in the works. So I really have 3 campaigns for the future, because I don't think we're going to launch this one that I'm going to talk to you about now before the end of the year. So it'll probably be into the new year. So I click this, I pull this lever, I go here, and then I go here. So this is my black and white Vampirilla cover that I was commissioned to do from Dynamic Forces. Nick is a great guy. So he said, why don't we do something like what Ethan Van Sciver did with Cyberfrog? So this is black and white with Vampirilla, and they just killed a bunch of these robotic skeleton type of guys. So one of the things that black and white do is they're robot hunters. So MI10 is a robotics division of the British Secret Service. So it's really fitting, I think. So they had just decimated these giant robot skeletons. So I think it came out pretty cool. And I'm still looking for a colorist to hook it up. I should follow this up with Nick and see where it's at. But I believe it'll come out early next year. So here they are in all their gory. Whitney doesn't look, they don't, she looks a little disinterested. She's like, been there, done that. She's just looking off to the side. Whatever. So yeah, so there's that. So let me stop sharing, come over, and I'll get personal with you guys again. So yeah, so 3 campaigns early next year, and then between the rest of this year and the early couple months next year, I'll be working full time on Black and White Volume 2 to get that done for you guys. Well, I'm going to try to get as much done before the campaign. So I learned a lot from the Black and White campaign, the Volume 1 campaign. And so far with Crona Mechanics, I'm well ahead of schedule. So the due date that I gave you on the Indiegogo page, we should be able to exceed this page or that time. So wait. Okay, so we have Kevin says refresh. Okay, did Pamela not tell me something? Something I should know? How long ago was that? It can only be narwhal. Wait, what's going on? I got to read these, and then I'll go to the chrono. I think Kevin's saying beautiful for the cover, and wow for the cover. I might know so. Oh, Matt Yackey might know colorist. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's 3 guys. I think they're Brazilian. They've colored a couple of my images in the past. One of them was the Red Sonja cover I did for Dynamite. I want to say is Rain MB, but I'm not sure. There's a couple guys that I'm looking at, but yeah, Matt, if you have some insight, that would be cool. So should we? Kevin says update something. Update. Where was it? What? Wait a minute. Did I just lose total track of everything while I wasn't looking? Kevin says we're 250 away from 16K. Wait a cotton picking minute. I'm losing my crap already. I gotta go screen share. You guys are turning this possibly into the best day ever. Okay, so we're at 14.
Woo-hoo!
Not yet. Wow, you had that chamber, didn't you?
Yes, I'm ready.
You should have seen her little fist went up in the air. She was so cute.
Little fist.
Well,
Meg Ryan.
I will triumph.
I will triumph.
I will triumph. All right, so we're at 14. You guys remember that number? So Kevin said refresh. You guys are keeping better track of this than I am. Holy shit.
Hey, they get the other trading card.
And we're at 200 backers. That's a nice round number. And we just got, what, 2 trading cards?
Well, now all 4 trading cards.
I know, but we just did in this live stream 2 stretch goals, 2 trading cards.
Oh.
Right?
I don't know.
The 15 and the 16. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. You should see her face, you guys. She's overwhelmed.
I am.
I like to see her in this state. All right. I'm sorry. I'm going really fast, you guys. I'm probably giving you vertigo. I should go slower. That's the problem. When you're at the end of your campaigns, there's always a lot more artwork and things. Oh, this is what I was telling you about, the 78 Double Go Gonzo concert, where he's just like, Doug will not be the D in band. It's when he fires his whole band and uses all the different pedals. So this is the D tour, the world tour. Okay, so here we go. You know what we got to do is we got to find some of these red check marks too and check them off.
Put on the.
Okay, so.
And yes, is 16 the variant cover trading card?
Well, I haven't got there yet. I was going to do the 15.
I'm sorry. Don't trust me around Christmas presents either, guys.
She does. She opens them. She opens those things, man. Sometimes I'll just wrap a rock just so she's disappointed. So then as she's moping around for the next week, she's like, I'm like, what are you moping around? And she's like, I don't know. Because she unwrapped the rock. Well, I've never done that, but she has unwrapped things in the past. Yes. So before Pamela just got to the cut to the chase, we got 15K. We have 15K for the Caravaggio trading card. So yes, so the whole variant superstar trading card set has been unlocked and is going to make its way to your hot little hands, you guys. So thank you so much. This is just
you guys are so cool.
Yeah, this is our way to give back. And the 16K gives you this one and done cover trading card with the cool new design on it. It's just got the Team 9.2 of Sector 7 cog design. That's also their patch on their sleeve, on their shoulders there. So each one of the mechanics teams has their own kind of patch. And so I don't know if you can see it, but each one of these stars it represents one of the team members. So there's 4 stars. I thought it was a pretty cool design, and I designed it. And my friend put it together. He's pretty good. So at 17.5, you can get the Sector 7 Crona Mechanics cog. Yeah, insignia, I guess that's what they call it, right? Insignia. So you get a better look at it right here. So it says Team 9.2 right down here, Sector 7 with the wrench across it. And then the 4 stars represents each one of the members and their Crona Mechanics. So I thought this thing came out really cool. And then 19K for the guitar pick. So I don't want to dream too big, but so now.
Oh, please. Are you going to sing?
What? What would I sing?
To dream.
The impossible dream. Well, if we can get to 17.5, I'll sing the whole damn song. So what are we? We're only 1,000 now away from 17.5, right?
I'm not saying anything because you'll laugh at me again.
Well, I believe we are at 1,000 away. Once again, you guys, I don't want to move this thing too fast because I don't want to give you vertigo. Your eyes are probably rolling back in your head. Okay, so Yeah, we sold the double page spread. Holy crap! And we sold the
page 16.
Yeah, the anomaly page.
The hey guys.
Hey guys, can you front me some green? That's a bit of dialogue that Doug says. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this, and then I'm going to say my goodbyes because I'm starving.
Sticky Wicked.
Oh wait. I'm going to refresh. We'll come back to that. So just
Okay.
remind me. Okay, so we're going to come back. We're going to refresh, and then we'll come back and give Sticky his wicked, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so refresh 513. 513, 200 backers. Awesome, you guys. You guys are the best. You guys are the best, man. This is so cool. So I'm back for the attack, as the old metal song used to go. Okay, Matt says, I know somebody. Oh, you guys, spread the word now. This campaign is officially on fire right now. So let's keep the heat going. So please tweet out, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subbed, please sub. YouTube is purging again, and I am losing subs left and right. Oh, it was Dawkin. So Dawkin wrote the song back for the attack. Yeah, there's some good songs there, man. Look at there. There's part of my wife right there. You guys got a glimpse into greatness.
As I was weaving back and forth.
Yeah, well, you're too excited. You can't contain yourself. Look at the smile. Earlier on, this is what they saw right here.
That's the way I'm used to seeing you.
Oh, come on. I am the happiest person you'll ever meet. And so now this is what they see right here.
Don't do the eyebrows, huh?
Well, if you could have seen the eyes, they're the crazy eyes. Yeah. It's kind of depressing, though. Well, I'm not going to go there. She's excited. You can have a great lunch now. Yes, thank you, Cam. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. This is crazy. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. You are the biggest supporter of Crona Mechanics. We will not let you down. This book is going to be everything I can put into it. And it's going to read like no other book you've ever seen before, because it is completely unique and different. And I mean that in the best of ways. Not like it's different, like, oh my God, it's different. Like who made this crap?
Like your neighbor. Oh, is he different?
Oh God, that's he's got like piercings and face tattoos. Like, oh, that guy's unique and different. No, I don't mean it that way. I mean it in the best of ways. I mean it like the first time you heard You Really Got Me, the Van Halen song. You heard Eddie Van Halen play for the first time, or you saw Star Wars. I mean unique and cool that way. That was pretty cool. Do you hear what I just said?
Yes.
I might be getting good at this. What happened with Marvel? Hey, Black Mamba, you're just going to have to go back. We're going to close out here. And if you are tuning in late, because this stream has been going quite a bit, please, once it goes up, check out the beginning of the video, and you'll see there's some heartfelt stuff going on there. There's a story that I've never told before, and I may never tell again. And so it's worth going back and checking out. So please do.
Don't forget.
Dude, she keeps waving this in front of me. She's like, I want to get this out there. So yeah.
Couldn't forget Sticky.
So between Kevin and you, Pamela, Sticky, he's probably not even here anymore. Oh, there he is. As if on cue.
Oh, shucks.
As if on cue. He's like, no, I'm here.
Are you digging your toe in, Sticky? Going along?
Oh, shucks. So are you go ahead and read it. You take.
Yours has not gone out because you get both covers. And so also the ultimate tier, that's the other one you were looking for. So anyway, as soon as we get all the books in, yours will be going out.
What she's saying is we haven't got the Greg Capullo variant covers in yet. So once we get those in, then we will bundle those together and ship them your way. So thank you for backing Chrono, and thank you for supporting Black and White as well. And thank you, Pixel, for all the links to Chrono. Chrono, like I said, is near and dear to my heart. I've been working on and off on this book for at least 12 years since the Marvel firing. So it's kind of like it is that little fist of my wife's going, "We will triumph." This little book will prove that the indie market is viable. So, oh, see, I knew it was going to jump. I'm getting good at this now. I'll keep checking. That's what he said early on. That's what he said early on. So this is a call. Yeah, this is a callback. And if anybody knows comedy writing, callbacks are hysterical, are hilarious and hysterical. So as same for me then. Yes. Yeah, you must have if you got both books, yeah.
Yes, Kevin.
Yeah, we just got the advanced shipment of the main book. We didn't get anything else, but good, we had everything else printed. So all the stretch goal stuff, it was printed up and done. So when we got that early shipment of, well, it's not really early, but the shipment that we paid their blood money for, we were able to get those out. But we did get the combo ones with the art book out though, because we had those printed.
Yes,
with the Oodles book.
Yes.
So some of those are going out as well, just not the ones with the Capullo in it, or the sketch ones or the art ones, because we haven't got that far yet. I think Kevin was asking about if any black and white artwork tiers have been sent out, but I don't think they have, right?
No, I'm going to, like, for something like that, everything will get boxed into one box.
The big 11 by 17 box, right?
Right.
And if Kevin did both covers, then the artwork will be in that same box.
And I will, Kevin, I will definitely send you a tracking number so that you will be able to track the shipment. Same with Sticky Wicked and all of them that have that artwork that is irreplaceable, all will have
tracking numbers. Yeah, because one thing, some people ship stuff like this. I will not. We insure all the artwork and we make sure that it's packed to the nth degree, because you can't replace the stuff. This is one of a kind. And it breaks my heart sometimes to see when artwork is lost or destroyed. And the money can't bring it back, but at least the money, I can return the money to whoever bought the page or whatever. So I'm not out the money, but that piece of artwork will forever be gone. So we don't take that stuff lightly.
Yeah, I pack it. Don't laugh when you guys open your boxes, because it's funny. I will wrap this stuff in plastic bags, and I buy the big plastic bags at Costco, and I wrap this stuff so that if it's raining, snowing, whatever, this artwork is still going to be watertight and safe. So yeah, I try to pack everything because we did have an Oodles book come back, or a picture of it.
Yeah, that guy had to. The post had to have dropped. One of them were bent in half.
Yeah, how do you do that?
You had to run over it with a forklift, and then the other one was submerged in water.
Yes.
God, you guys are so good. I almost said this.
Yes, I do bread roll bags.
Did I show you that last night?
No.
Yes, on Twitter, somebody sent, because you know how I tell people, like, I encourage you guys to take photos of your books when you get them, and then I'll retweet them out. because it's like
Yeah.
the King's Hawaiian,
Yeah.
like
Hawaiian bread.
bread, yeah. And so he put the bag in there too. So I explained in the tweet, I said, it was raining really hard here, you guys. And Pamela just got a little scared that maybe the box would get too wet. So, we don't have big bags just readily available. So she just wanted to get the order out. So we just had, like bags you put vegetables in,
Right.
like at the supermarket, and
I
different.
save that stuff just for, this kind of thing, to keep everything safe. Plus you get double the use, and maybe they can put trash in and get 3 times the use out of a piece of plastic.
Saving a plastic tree.
That's right.
From extinction. Yeah. This is gonna be wait. This will be funny. Make a fist. Make a good fist. Okay.
That's as good as it gets.
Okay. Now bend down a little bit. No, you got to bend down a little bit. Okay. Ready? Now bring it up.
We will triumph.
We will triumph. All right, you guys. I think we just got a couple more. Kevin is freaking on it, man. What the hell, man? Maybe we will never eat lunch. Okay, so I click this button. I pull this lever. I hit this button, and then I go over here. And then 513, we are at 16,513. And Bazungaga. I'm trying to think of some kind of magic word. Abracadabra.
That's a real word.
545. Hells.
Thank you.
Yes. So yeah, thanks guys. This is incredible. What did we start at? The 15.8 or something like that?
I don't.
No.
I was working.
No, we were at 14.8. Yeah, we were at like 14.8 or something like that. So we've a couple, almost like 1,500.
You guys, you don't know how much this means. You don't know how hard art works. From the time the man gets up, he is drawing and reworking. The guy's got a problem with perfectionism.
Yeah, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I'm on the 12-step program right now.
Yeah, and trust me, it's not working.
It's not working. But you know what? At least Aristotle knows and respects the work.
That's right.
And Van Gogh as well, even though he couldn't hear a thing I was saying for the last 2 hours. And then Midas is an older one. Let's go to the first one. This one my favorite. The writing on this book is unsurpassed. I will nevermore. Edgar Allan Poe, writer of scary stories and bird lovers. So yeah, these guys throughout time, we sent them advanced copies of Crona, and they gave us reviews. So the reviews
they go to Crona headquarters.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
I don't really know the details. Pamela keeps up on the details. I don't. So what are you saying? They go to the headquarters and then they give their reviews
They go to the.
Is this it? Is this here?
Yes, that's where they go and they talk to people.
The giant screw in the sky, the giant bolts in the cosmos. Yes. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna just on the off chance that there's a delay. I'm gonna refresh just one more time. 545. Those are good even numbers, even though they're not quite even. Cool. Thank you guys so much. This is probably the best live stream I've ever done. Even though I thought for sure you guys were gonna mock me and humiliate me for showing my kinder, gentler side.
You have one?
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. See, I know my friends, and they're in the chat. You, on the other hand, taking shot at me, cheap shots, taking cheap shots at me. No
sleep.
Stay in art. Order pizza for delivery.
No sleep till 17K.
I don't know. Should we order pizza? I don't know, man. I think. Oh, there's the Hawaiian rolls, Sierra. Yeah, the hunger strike. No, you'll see how grumpy my wife gets.
Me?
Yeah, she gets the, what do you call them, the hangries?
Yeah, I do the Betty White thing. Amanda's the worst. Our daughter's the worst. When she gets hungry, oh my goodness, you don't want to be within 3 states of that girl.
Give Arthur Brown, the Uncanny Kodiak, your prom wave.
Oh, prom wave? Where am I?
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that the queen wave?
Yeah, that's like when you're on a float, right? Because you gotta minimize the movement.
So you don't get tired.
You don't get tired. Because if you start doing this by the end of the parade, you're
carpal tunnel.
You're gonna have carpal tunnel.
Do a hunger strike.
I know. I said that already. No, I didn't highlight it, but I did read it. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. Hunger strike. I don't. Well, somebody said they said just order pizza, so we could order a pizza. Any excuse to eat pizza.
You do love pizza.
I can't wait to get my copy of Crona in a Danish cookie tin.
Hey.
Well, somebody else I think was mocking your packaging. And did
it get there in a good condition?
Trust me, if she could get one of those books in a Danish cookie tin,
I would.
She would. And then she would tape the shit out of it.
Yep.
And wrap it with brown paper and still put it in a bag or a box. Okay. What do you think, Pamela? Should we hold out? Always hold out for more. What was that thing from Balls Incorporated from Zoolander? Remember when he's teaching the class? He's like, what did we learn today? Hold out for more money. Remember, what's his name? The guy that ran the company where he's going, give me a little bit
of his dang.
Ballstein or whatever that guy's Maury Ballstein or something, and the company is called Balls Out or something or like Balls Incorporated, and then he couldn't pee. He had a swollen prostate. Just give me a little pee.
Yeah, that was.
And then you just hear the one drop, and he goes, "That's what I'm talking about."
Yeah. That's it. That one was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, so Ballstein at the end is teaching a class, and then he's teaching those kids business, and he says, always hold out for more money.
The second movie shouldn't have been made. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. We shouldn't even go there. 16, nice. We cheered you up. You cheered me up big time. Thank you so much, Kevin. You're an amazing human being. You really are. One of the good guys.
Yep.
Take that woman to lunch. Shut this down. Stop being so greedy. More.
Take that woman to lunch. I'm with Pixel.
Really? You don't want to make more money? Okay, so I went away for lunch, and you just blew past 2 stretch goals. Woosah! Yes, we did, and thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Oh, you are you? Yeah, Arthur Brown's in for a hunger strike for me. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Yeah. What the hell? You only live once, right? Yeah. Pamela can replace me. She's going to trade up when she gets this money. I got what I want.
Oh, yes.
You probably could trade up. I'm a schmuck. You could do better. Oh, man, I'm laughing so hard. I'm shaking the camera. I told you not to shake the camera.
I didn't touch anything.
What? Wait, what is this? I went away for lunch. Okay. What is this? I don't know what this means. -M-. It's one of you.
Is it maybe a shrug?
One of you, you young kids with your emojis and your memes.
Because I like the one where you use different things and you make a person shrugging.
Actually, Cam was the guy. He did say. He gave us the best advice ever. Cam, you got to start running my campaigns. He just did right now. I'll pay extra for that kind of shipping. LOL. Yeah, I mean that. Are you talking about the tins? Well, the tins actually, it's we can eat all the cookies, so it's a win-win, and we get shipping material.
That's why with the bread, stuff.
Yes, the rock horns. You guys rock. I'm throwing the goat. Oh, is that a Ghost reference? That song's weird. Or what is it? No, it's kissing the goat. What is? Oh, I'm throwing the goat. Oh, I understand. He's doing the devil horns, the goat horns.
Oh.
He's doing this.
Oh, okay.
It kind of does look like that. Yeah, I thought he was talking about that ghost song, "Kiss the Goat." He's throwing the goat. Some people call them devil horns.
That's actually a cool, because the M does make the knuckles.
Yeah, it makes the two knuckles. Yeah. The heavy metal fingers. Yeah. I just always called them the devil horns, but I always try to get a rise off of somebody by saying devil horns. But really, I think, didn't Dio say that this blocks evil because his grandmother or something was from the old school?
She was Italian, right?
Yeah, something like that. So this is like send a curse, and this is block a curse. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. They're sending out magic in the old days and blocking magic. They're like, I guess, like Doctor Strange or whatever. Yeah. And then I think Gene Simmons tried to claim it because I think in the Love Gun album, he's got the horns.
No, nothing is going to be packed in a pizza box because it would be greasy.
Yeah, those boxes are kind of beat up by the time you'd ever use them.
I care too much that these books get to you guys in great, pristine shape.
Yeah, so you got validation here. Yes, it's Italian. So I don't see any movement in my emails. So I think we're good. You guys, thank you so very much for coming by, hanging out with us, and supporting this campaign. I don't know. I think we witnessed a miracle today. So the little campaign that could just did. And we still have 5 days, I think. 5 days. So we'll be closing out this weekend. So if we can rally like this a couple more times, we can throw up that 25K. So thank you guys again. And actually, it is kind of this is kind of universal, right? But Spider-Man does this, right? Because he has that little thing there. Look, I can't do it without moving my pinky. I can't keep this finger straight. So yeah, there's many.
You broke them, didn't you? Or broke
this hand? Yeah, I did actually.
You broke the bones in your hand.
Yeah, right, straight across. It was a drumming accident. Middle finger. No middle fingers. We don't do middle. Yeah, I did a few middle fingers here. Baby metal. I don't know. Baby metal might be a guilty pleasure. I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't listened to enough of it. So keep pressing, everyone. 5 days to get to 25K. Yes, thank you guys so much. And if you haven't given a thumbs up, please give a thumbs up. Subscribe. Check your subscription and make sure that you haven't been bumped, because this purge is going, not just like bots or whatever they're saying. It's also unsubbing people that want to be subbed to your channel. So I know this is not just a problem that I'm having, but across the board with a lot of YouTubers right now. What's this?
I was laughing at air drumming accident.
No, dude. I'm a real drummer, man. I don't go get a stick. I'll twirl it. I'll show you guys. I'll show you a thing or two.
He has a beautiful double kick set in the other room.
Who got that for me?
Me.
You did. It's these bass drums are 28-inch cannons, and there's double. They rival Tommy Lee's bass drums, and they are loud.
They're cherry.
It's all cherry wood. One more time, Indiegogo. One more time. Yes, Chrono is going strong. We are rallying today, so keep getting the word out. I'm going to be on YouTube later. I think I'm going on crowdfunding. That's the Billy Tucci's show with, is it Niles? Is it Niles Scanlon, or I can't remember his last name, but they have a YouTube show called Crowdfunding, and I'm going to be on that tonight. I think it's 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So this epic Crona Mechanics journey is not over yet. 28 kicks. Oh yeah, yeah. It's Yamaha. It's a Yamaha kit, and it was funny. Well, I'll explain the drum set first. It's got the two mounted toms, the double kick. I got the floor tom, and then I had the snare drum, which is pretty standard hi-hat. And then, but what I got the rack mount. So the cymbals are all on a rack around. So I got my chinas, I got everything all around. Even my ride cymbal is off on the rack mount. And I remember I was talking to Brian Hayner. I tell him this story. I was like, I got this rack mount, and I said, this is the big drum kit of all time. And this is what all drummers want. He goes, no, he goes, drummers are scaling down. And if you don't know Brian Hayner is the dad of Brian Hayner Jr., who is Sinister Gates of Avenged Sevenfold, right? I got that right.
And he's guitar guy too.
He's guitar guy for what's the stand-up comedian?
Oh, it's the guy with the puppet.
The puppet guy. The puppet guy. I can never remember the puppet guy.
Yeah.
But he's guitar guy for the puppet guy stand-up routine.
And he does travel. Brian does with conservative comics. They travel the country and do these shows that make fun. And it's horrible.
Yeah, check out his YouTube. It's Brian Hayner or Guitar Guy. He's funny, and he's a friend of the family. And we were at a Avenged Sevenfold show. This was early on before they really broke. And I was telling Brian that story about, like, this is the ultimate drum kit. New drummers don't use those kits anymore. They don't do that. And so I think we were talking about that when we were driving to the show. And then we get to the show, we're backstage, and we're just hanging out with the guys. And then the drum set is like a double kick, rack mount cymbals, huge ass kit. And it's like, it's on par with my kit. And I'm like, oh, really? No one uses the rack mounts. No one does this anymore. Well, the Rev does. So there you go. And he was one of the best drummers of that time. Yeah, I think he still holds up. But
he died some years ago. But
yeah, tragically, it was horrible.
Yeah, but he was awesome.
Yeah, I have some pictures I'll show you guys. I got some pictures with Sinister, and I got some with the Rev too. Uh-huh. And I wish I would have taken the Rev's drum tech up. I was talking to him about trying to tune and what the best way to tune the drum kit is. And he actually volunteered his services and said he'd come by and tune the kit, because they live in Orange County, and I'm not going to out the rest of them, but we're all local here. So it was all doable. I wish I would have taken him up, because there's a sound I want, and he would have helped me get that sound. But anyway, I'm babbling here. Yes, Drummer Gives Hope, YouTube. Whose is this? Is this Brian Hayner's YouTube? I don't know whose YouTube this is. Is this my YouTube? I don't know whose this is. Yeah, he does a great video on tuning drums as well, and I have heard that. I haven't brought that into my kit yet. All right, I could talk all day about music, so I really should go. You guys, please check out Crona Mechanics. We had a stellar YouTube channel here, getting all kinds of backers. So I appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for making me laugh.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was like it started off kind of like a low point and then got like really, really good. So I'm going to take my lovely wife out to lunch, And I'll see you guys later on Comics Funding tonight. So take care.